Hey guys, it's me Jordan here at Mellow Vapes in Belmont, and I just wanted to make a video today to kind of talk about a little bit of a comparison between this little drag Nano that I picked up the other day. I know I did a video on it whenever I presented the new drag Nano mods, and it's funny, we've already sold out of them. They flew off the shelf. As soon as we put them on the shelf, they flew off that shelf that same day. They are a very popular device. Like I said, I am absolutely in love with this little device right here, and I've been using it constantly for the last week. As I can say, great battery life. Pod does really good at regulating juice really well. Gives off really good flavor. Very lightweight little device for what it is, especially mostly being made of metal. But I just wanted to compare it between a device that I had purchased a couple weeks back because my meat pod gave out on me. I purchased a Nord a couple weeks back, and then I saw that we were going to be getting these drag Nanos in. So, like I told Chance, I said I have to have one. So as soon as we got them in, I went on ahead and purchased one, and I've been using this. I've kind of, pushed the Nord off to the side for a little while. I'm actually letting Chance borrow it right now. He's having a little bit of, he had a little bit of trouble with his pod device. Woke up one morning, the pod was gone out of it. So I'm just letting him use it until he can find himself another pod device. He likes the Nord. I do like the Nord for the most part, but honestly, I love this device better. So let's get into the comparison. First off, size comparison. Side by side, the Nord and the drag are very different in size. Obviously, the Nord is a little bit taller, it's a little bit more thicker, and it's got a little more weight to it, surprisingly, than the Nano does, or the drag Nano does. Even though the drag Nano is mostly all made of metal, and the Nord has more plastic in it than metal. It does have this metal gold bezel on the gold one anyway. It has this metal bezel that goes around the whole resin part of it, and then you have your pod that's made of plastic. But that right there is your Nord. As far as weight goes between the two, like I said, this one's got a little more weight to it than this one does, even though this one's made of metal. Pod capacity. Obviously, the pod in the Nano holds less juice than the Nord. This one only holds 1 mil, where this one right here holds 2.5 mils of liquid. Coils. So the Nord, as you know, uses two different coils. It uses a ceramic coil and it uses a mesh coil. And the way you change those coils out is the coil will sit down into this little slot inside the pod, and whenever the coil goes bad, you just pop it out and pop a new one in. So that might put some people to a disadvantage who are just looking for something that's simple to change out. You just pop a pod out, pop a new one in. You ain't got to go through the trouble of putting a new coil into the device. Whereas with the Nano, all you do is pull the pod out, and once the pod goes bad, you pull it out, grab you a new one, fill that puppy up with juice, and slide her back in. She clicks right in place. For what it is, it gives off great vapor production. It almost reminds me of, I know I said a Juul in the last video, and I feel I kind of kicked myself for saying that, because one of my friends actually brought this up to me. It almost hits just like an Infinix would. If y'all remember the Smok Infinixes, they've been out for quite a little while now. They're a great little device, great mouth to lung device, lightweight. They were one of the big competitors for the Juul. And this device actually hits just like an Infinix does. So if you've ever hit an Infinix, you know what I'm talking about. Great flavor. Gotta love that thing. Now, battery difference. The Nord has an 1100 milliamp hour battery, whereas this one only has a 750 milliamp hour battery. I'll be completely God honest with you. I've gotten better battery life out of this Nano than I have this Nord, and I've only had this one a week. I've had this one for 2 weeks. Don't get me wrong, the Nord gives off great flavor. It also gives off great vapor production. But when it comes to a pod device, I'm looking really for battery life, because when I'm at home, or I'm driving, or I'm just I'm out socializing, or I go to the bar or go do something fun, I always carry this with me. Carry one of these little guys with me, because it's very inconvenient to carry one of these around if you go to the bar. Because at the bar, you go to the smoking area, you go, you give off that big cloud, you're gonna annoy some people. I mean, anywhere you go, you're gonna annoy somebody. Which I can honestly care less. But it's also very inconvenient to carry one of these around with you if you go to the bar. If you go to a social club, you go socialize and go to the arcade, or go hang out with family. It's very inconvenient to carry a big mod like this, because it's in your pocket. It's very awkward in your pocket sometimes. Whereas this little thing, you just slip it down in your pocket. Heck, this thing's almost small enough to fit in a wallet. Just slip this thing down wherever you need to put it. And you hardly know it's there unless you see it in your mind that it's down there. You don't even realize it. Also, it's very convenient with this thing, since it comes with the little lanyard that you can hook on to the hook right here and hang it around your neck. That's another way. That's another easy access to the device. This thing right here, I put a lanyard on this thing. I'm gonna be walking. This thing's gonna be swinging, end up hitting somebody upside the head. This thing right here, it's just gonna hang right here. Then if the thing swings and hits somebody upside the head, then you're gonna have a real issue, especially if you're at a bar. But the Nord is also a really good one to carry around with you if you like going out and partying, or going out and hanging out with friends and everything. And the only bad thing I've seen with it is sometimes you'll get a little bit of leakage down here around your coil, and it leaks down into it. When you pull your pot out, juice flies everywhere and drips out on your hands and everything. That's the only really con I've ever seen with this thing, other than the battery life. Even though it has that really big battery in it, every time you hit it, it uses a huge amount of battery life to make that hit. Also, with this one, it has the button on it. Now, you can turn the device off by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before you stick it in your pocket. But if you're out, partying or whatever, or doing whatever, then you're not going to think to turn it off when you take it out and hit it and you slip it back down in your pocket. You go to sit down, when your leg bends, your pocket pushes on this button and it starts firing. With this one right here, there's no button whatsoever on it. It's literally a mouth-to-lung device. You draw to fire it. So that's another con between the two. This one has no button, so you just draw to fire it. The Nord has a button on it, so you have to turn it off before you put it in your pocket if you don't want it to fire in your pocket. USB port access. Both of them are on the bottom, so there's no really inconvenience between the two on that one. Getting hot. Oh, that's another good one. So with the Nord, I've noticed if I have it in my pocket while it's hot outside, it does get a little warm sometimes. And then with this one even being made of metal, honestly, I left it in my car the other day while I went into the store. I came back out. I had this one and I had this one out in the car. I left both of them out in the car. This one right here, I picked this one up to hit it. It was the first one I saw. Picked it up to hit it. It was on fire. It was so hot. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I threw it down real quick and I picked this one up. This one right here was a little warm, but not near what this one was. So I believe it does really good at not retaining heat. And that's really cool. Now some more cons between the two. With them having the metal finish on them, they are going to be fingerprint magnets and they are going to get scratched up. Now, Nano, it does have a few little scratches on it on the surface of it. I don't know how well you can see. There's one right there beside my index finger. That's the first big one I've noticed. With my Nord, there are a couple little scratches on it. This one right here actually isn't mine. This is the store's Nord. Chance actually has my Nord, so I was just using this one as an example. But, so this one's a brand new one. But my Nord, I have noticed a few little scuffs and scratches on it, but nothing compared to this one. With that metal mirror finish, you are going to get scratches, and it's going to be a fingerprint magnet, which, you know, it is what it is. I mean, there's not really much you can do about it. Even if you're the carefulest of them all with your devices, it's going to get scratched up. So if somebody were to ask me, Jordan, if you lost this thing and went out and bought a new one, and you know, if you lost this thing, and you would you go out and buy a new one the next day? I actually would. If I lost the Nord or something happened to the Nord, would I go out and buy another one? Possibly. Maybe just have an extra device. But if I go to a shop and there's both of these in stock, I'm going to buy this one before I buy this one. Just because it's so convenient. Not having to change coils out. You can literally, as soon as your pod goes back, go into the store, say, hey, I need a drag nano pod. If they got it, grab one, fill it up with juice, pop it in, let it set for a minute, it's good to go. This one you have to go through the process of changing your coil out, pull your coil out, prime your new one, stick it in there, pull flap up, fill it up, and pop it in. One more con, and I completely forgot, almost forgot to mention this one. When you fill this pod up in the Nano, you have to pull this cap off, which, you know, ain't really no problem to me. But I have noticed this little hole on the side. When you go to fill it up, if you don't hold it right side up and put your bottle in right side up and then flip it upside down, when you go to flip your bottle upside down and try to put it in there then, you're just going to run out the tip and run down the side of it. Also, there's air bubbles that like to fill up on the side right here, and they'll go up to the top and prevent your juice from going down in there. So whenever you go to squeeze your juice down in there and that air bubble's in the way, it's going to run out the side. It's made to fill up on both sides. Every time I fill it up, I kind of have to fill it a little bit, let it settle back down, fill it up a little more, let it settle back down, in order for it to even out on both sides of that column on the inside. So that's really one big con as far as the pod goes, and it only holds 1 meal. But like I said, it does a really good job at regulating its juice level, and I've only honestly had to fill this thing up maybe twice a day. That's if I'm constantly sitting there chucking on it, maybe twice a day. But other than that, that's really all I have to say about the two devices. Oh, with the Nord filling it up, I would say maybe 3 times a day, because that coil in there really does burn up a lot of juice. Gives off really good flavor, and they do last, but gosh, they burn off juice. They burn up juice like it ain't no man's business. So, I just want to do that comparison video real quick. I hope that answered a lot of people's questions about the difference between the Nano and one of the other devices that we have in the shop. If you'd like for me to compare this device to another one that we carry in the shop, I know we carry the Vagon, which is by Soren. We carry the Soren Vagon, the Soren Air, the Mi Pod, the Miko, and the Trinity Alpha. So if you'd like for me to do another comparison video between this and another device, please comment down below and let me know which one. So until then, I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment and subscribe. Tell your friends to come check this video out if they have any questions about this device. Or if you come into the shop and you have any questions about any of the products that we do sell in the store, make sure to ask me, Chance, or Kayla, and we'll be able to answer any questions that you have. And we hope to see you guys soon. So, until next time, my friends, y'all stay cloudy.